Let's talk mantles, garlands, and ribbon. I'm gonna take you and show you a couple of other mantles that I've done in the house, and then we're gonna come back in here and I'm gonna decorate this mantle from scratch, and I'm gonna show you how to incorporate your ribbon. Okay, this is the mantle in my living room, and as you can see, I have a tall tree on either end for height, and then I have all floral in the middle, and it has a focal point in the middle, and it moves out from that focal point. And so the impact is there in the middle. And this is all floral. Again, there's no ribbon or ball ornaments. I do have the deer and the owls, and then I have hung crystals from an old chandelier underneath there just to give it some sparkle and have like a hanging element. So this is the family room, and this goes with my owl's nest on the windmill. We're in the same room as that, and then with my green and gold Christmas tree over here. So this is one mantle technique. It looks intimidating, but it's actually very easy. And I started with 2 teardrop garlands with the large pieces in the middle, and it just creates a perfect holder for picks. And I just stuck picks in there. And that's super easy. That's a little bit different than draping, a long garland. But I love it. It might actually be my favorite mantle. And this is the front living room. And this mantle has 2 trees, again, one on either side. This time they are decorated with ornaments, ribbon, and then the same thing is carried out through the garland that's on the mantle. So this is a ribbon technique that I will show you in a minute on the other mantle, but it's basically loops, and they're just tied down into the garland with the garland itself, and then you place your picks and everything else in your holes on the garland. So that's real easy. That's 1 roll of ribbon. I didn't cut it, and that's 5 yards. Then on the trees, I have another roll that I've cut in half. So it's a 5-yard roll, so that's 2.5 yards on each tree. But if you're investing in some beautiful ribbon and you don't want to cut it, this is one technique that lets you use your whole piece of ribbon and not cut it into smaller pieces. All right, there is the tree on the left. Then we've got, you see the ribbon, and the ribbon flowing through there, and then again on that tree. So this is the gray velvet ribbon with the silver glitter snowflake. All right, I'm back in the bedroom, and I'm going to redo this mantle. So I really wasn't going to decorate this mantle this year. I have in years past. I just sort of wore myself out, and I wasn't going to this year. I just had ho, ho, ho. But a friend bought some ribbon. This is the ribbon she bought. And she was asking how to incorporate it into her mantle. And so I thought I would show her and whoever else is interested how to incorporate ribbon into your mantle. There's all kinds of techniques and ideas, and really, I mean, you just get creative and it just kind of works. But this ribbon, I mean, I wanted to show it, and it's really being overlooked. It's in the Etsy shop, it's on the Instagram shop, but I don't know, maybe it doesn't look very Christmassy, but it's very neutral. It's beige with a black pinstripe, and it'll be perfect in here. You know, a lot of people are going with glitter and velvet, which is beautiful, and I've used it in the front, but this is more of a neutral, you know, you could use it with like a farmhousey type decor, and you know, something that sometimes your eye just needs a little resting place. So this is perfect for that. Also, I think you can use this for any holiday. You know, I think if you did an Easter display, I think this would be great, you know, to pair with another color. And, you know, I think the possibilities for this ribbon are limitless. So congratulations, Laura. You got a great ribbon. And I'm going to use it too, and put it on this mantle. And one thing that she had asked that I'm going to do and show her is she didn't want to cut it. So this is not an expensive ribbon. I think it's $19.99 in the Etsy shop and on Instagram. So it's, you know, you can definitely find more expensive ribbon, but if you don't want to cut your ribbon, you don't have to cut your ribbon. Ironically, I've had this conversation with, I don't know how many people who, just don't want to cut their ribbon for one reason or another. And, you know, I think it's okay to cut your ribbon. I don't feel like you don't have to cut your ribbon, but, if you just can't cut it, you can't bring yourself to cut it, that's okay. You don't have to cut it, and you can wrap it up and use the whole thing again next year. You know, it's just your preference. So I'm not gonna cut this. I'm gonna see what it would look like on this mantle. Now this is pretty long. This is 10 yards, and on the mantle in the living room that I showed you, that was just a 5-yard roll of ribbon. So this one's gonna be a lot longer. I may have to cut it. We'll see, but my goal is not to cut it, so that she can see, you know, what it would look like if she didn't cut her ribbon and she put it in her mantle. I'm also going to kind of try to emulate the decor that she has. She has just, it looks like a green, you know, garland with some like neutral greenery in it. And basically that's what I have left to decorate with. So I'm gonna use, I've got eucalyptus, I've got, and then some other just greenery that I had. Actually, these are like little wreaths, and you can unhook them and make them into greenery. So this is gonna be very neutral. Not everything has to be, you know, glitter. So that's what I'm going for, is just a neutral mantle with this neutral ribbon. First thing I'm gonna do is clear off this decor and place the garland. And I may, one of the things that I've done in the past to try to protect my mantles is put a piece of fabric down before I put the garland, and that just sort of protects them. I painted this mantle, and actually all of my mantles are painted. And I'm just, you know, this garland that I'm using is pretty old, and it has, you know, the big wire in it. So, I mean, I guess it could scratch my mantle. So I may see how that works. I'm going to try to hide the fabric so that you don't see it but it will be under the garland. Let's talk mantles, garlands, and ribbon. I'm gonna take you and show you a couple of other mantles that I've done in the house, and then we're gonna come back in here and I'm gonna decorate this mantle from scratch, and I'm gonna show you how to incorporate your ribbon. Okay, I've got the garland on the mantle, and as you can see, it's just a standard cheap, you know, green garland. It's doubled up. I have two on top of each other. And I hit it with a little white spray paint a year or so ago. So it has just a little bit of white on it. I did put fabric underneath it. This is the fabric that I use. I've had this for a million years. It's just like a sheer, I have this color and then another like creamy color. And when I remember to do it, I put it under a garland. So I'll have it tucked back. You can't really see it. So, but that'll just, you know, protect my mantle a little bit. Okay, I've also added light, and I used the ones, my favorite lights that I talk about all the time. The cluster rice lights, whatever you want to call them. And I have a plug up here in the middle, which makes this really convenient. So thank you, whoever put the plug on my mantle. So the next thing I'm gonna do is work on the ribbon. And I know that Laura already has her greenery in the garland, but I think it's gonna be easier to do the ribbon before the greenery. So that's what I'm gonna do. So the first thing, you know, I was thinking on this ribbon that would be gorgeous if you wanted to cut it, which you don't, again, have to cut it, but if you did, this holds its shape so well. I used it on my green and gold tree as a base for my bows. And you can see it holds beautifully. So if you did want to cut this ribbon and I would make two giant bows, and I would put one on either end of the mantle. And I would maybe leave that up all year round. I would take the garland down and I would put the bows on the mantle without the garland after Christmas. I did that last year. I did a couple of, I called them mantle bows, and they were in the middle. I had like a gray plaid ribbon. I'm pretty sure I have a post on Instagram of that. Anyway, just another idea. If you want to cut this ribbon, I think it makes a great bow. It's just so stiff, and the wire is really good. But we didn't want to cut it, so I am going to cut the ends. You don't even have to do this if you don't want to. You can fold it under. That's how it comes. Fold it under. If you want to, you know, just fold it like this, you know, and then stick that in the garland. You don't have to cut any of it. But I'm gonna make a tail on either end. And how you do that is you fold it in half and you cut folded side down. And that gives you a fishtail. So I'm gonna start with that, and let's just see how long this ribbon is. Like I said, this is 10 yards of good quality premium designer ribbon. It's a lot of ribbon. 10 yards is a lot of ribbon. I believe I got nine bows. out of one roll on my green and gold tree. This was just one of the ribbons in the bow. I did 3 ribbons, so it was a 2-loop bow. So I think you could get, they were like 6 or 7 inch bows, loops on the bows. Okay, I made it to the other end. I'm gonna cut it as well. Oh, almost did it wrong. Folded side down. Okay. Now, if I'm gonna try to fit this whole ribbon on this mantle, I'm gonna have to find the middle of this ribbon. So, I'm gonna take both ends, I'm gonna put them together, and I'm gonna try to find my middle. It's pretty curled up though. I think it's about here, even though it's curled up, it's close. All right, I should have done a better job of flattening it and making sure it wasn't curled up when I, all right, easy enough though. Okay. Okay, a couple of ideas on how to put this on here. One is to copy what I did in the mantle in the front with the gray ribbon. And that, I mean, I could have left it curled up for that. That is loops. Your ribbon is kind of doing what it does when it comes off the bolt. It's doing this, and it's going down into the garland, and this part is getting attached down into the garland. So you're just looping it like this, and then attaching the low part of the loop into the garland. So that's one idea. It would go something like this. You would stick that all the way down as far as you could get it. You would take 2 pieces of the garland, you would twist them together, and there would be a loop. Then you would take this, loop side down, and do it again. Okay, another piece of garland, twist them together. Okay, so another loop, twist it together. Okay, you see that? Does that make sense? And then you could go in with your greenery and fill in. See? You see how I did that? Okay. So that is one ribbon technique. You can vary your spacing. It doesn't have to be loop, 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 even loops. You know, you can kind of go in different directions with it. Make it a little more random looking. Okay, that's I don't know what number 2, because the bows on the ends is number 1. This is number 2, loops. Okay, another idea. That's Phoebe barking at the yard people. Now you can see this ribbon bounced back pretty well. I didn't tie it super tight, but if you're wanting to, you know, reuse it, and which you definitely can. This is one of those you can do that with. Okay. Another thing, I sort of did this on Drew's tree. It's just loops, okay? You can just do 3 loops. You can tie them down here. You could put a piece of wire to secure them so that they stay in place. That's gonna pinch your ribbon pretty well. Then you know, layer it through, do some more loops, layer it through. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing on here. I'm probably not gonna attach it with wire though. I'm gonna see if I can just attach it with pieces of the garland and see if that works. I think I'm gonna have to turn you a little bit because this is a little left of center. There's 3 loops. This is kind of doing also the loops that I showed you a while ago. I'm going to go with another loop. Now I'm going to see if I can do some more loops out of one piece of ribbon. I'm just gonna tie right around the base of those loops. Hope I get it all in there. Then I'm gonna spread those loops out. That one didn't stay. doing another loop. Can you see what I've done? Okay, I'm gonna keep going with that. Okay, do you see that? It's a loop, and then I tied it with the things. Now, I only have this much left, and I'm at the end of my mantle. So I'm gonna try to do 3 more loops. Gonna drop my camera. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to finish it off on this end. 1, 2, can you see that? 1, 2. Oh, I need to make them a little shorter. 1. Maybe I'll just do 2 loops down here, so I'll have room. That's what I'll do. That's just 2 loops this time. I dropped them. Okay. Just having trouble finding a set of twist ties, basically. All right, here we go. All right. This needs to be turned over. I want to see the pretty side of the ribbon. All right, 2 loops in there. Then I'm going to just attach this here. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, that is, I've done something, blocked my tracking. Okay, so that's half of the mantle, and we still have the other half to loop-de-loop. have got more ribbon down here than I did down there. So I'm just gonna squish it tighter. One, you're so far away. 1, 2. Can't get my spacing right. I think I need to do another loop. Let's do another loop and then do. Now we're gonna do 2 loops. All right, I got a little extra ribbon down here. Maybe get another loop in there. What do we think about that? Let's take a look from the front. Okay, that's really the loops, and more loops. All right, let's add some greenery. All right, I did not cut that ribbon. I did it, it's all on there, and I did not cut the ribbon. It might be easier to cut the ribbon though. Can't see that, but I put just some greenery. All right, let's see. Basically, it's all gonna be eucalyptus. And just like that, I'm out of eucalyptus. I didn't have a lot. All right. Hung the wreaths. And I have, falling over, I have these vases up here. I'm out of stuff to put in things. So I'm thinking, what do I have left so I can put in there for height? I would like some branches or something. Don't know, I've used everything. Oh, I might have to go shopping.